Aloha, Life Regenerator here. How you doing? I'm coming to you live and on fire, baby. I just watched Casey's video on snake diet versus Life Regenerator, and so I'm all fired up about that. It actually does hurt my feelings when people say negative stuff about me, but that's been the internet. I've never gotten used to that. But that came from way, way back, you know. Just because we've all been so traumatized and so abused. And that's kind of my message, part of my message, you know. It's like we should really try to love one another no matter what we eat. Today we're celebrating 325,000 subscribers. I've been wanting to do this. I do one every 25,000 subscribers. And I've made a couple, but I didn't really post them. So here's our 325,000 subscriber video. So thank you very much for being a subscriber and taking very good care of yourself. Also, this is 18 years of live food diet. So, you know, in correlation to that, with Casey's video, I'm going to ask Casey to can you just leave me out of your videos from now on, Casey? Because that crowd is not really my crowd, and I don't think they really understand me or what I'm doing. I don't think very many people really do understand what I'm doing. It's very rare and unique, and so I've had to find a lot of forgiveness for that lack of understanding. But I have a lot of understanding for myself, and then it allows me to have understanding for everyone at every stage of the evolutionary path. And I have a lot of friends that do a lot of different things, and I don't judge anyone to the best of my ability. Maybe unconsciously in certain ways I do, but I try to very much consciously be a loving, understanding person, especially in my real life. Online, everyone's different. And most of the negativity always comes from Mr. Anonymous Nobody who has no avatar, no content, and nothing to share with the world except maybe negativity about how the Life Regenerator's dying, okay? Because I don't have the big beef muscles. I have a different kind of muscle, and it's the kind of muscle that I like. Muscle isn't even really my thing. This muscle and this muscle have needed a lot of work, but regeneration of humanity is key. Now, most people don't really give a flying nothing about nothing. But for me to have acquired that information and to apply it every day is the only thing that gives me this lasting fulfillment and overflow of joy and happiness and really deep fulfillment. So I know that what I do is not the priority of everyone. In this world, people love three things: money, muscles, and women. And all those things are magnificent and wonderful, but sometime in your path of your evolution, you may find out that there is more to life than money, muscles, women, fame, and name. Can you dig it? Where you really want to get personally satisfied and you personally want to have an overflowing cup. When you yourself, just alone, not on camera, not on social media, not in front of your family, not in front of your friends, but for you, when you have a truly deep, hungry heart to just feel good every day, as good as you can, to be as happy as you can, to be as healthy as you can in the way that you see fit. Does my diet the best diet for everyone? I guess not. I still can't help but to think so, but I have a different set of priorities. Right now, with the herbs and the live foods and the meditation and the acupuncture and the yoga and the fitness and the inoculation into the earth particles and the eating of the sunlight diet, all the food that I eat is ripened and enlivened by the sun, because that is the main component. Whether it's proteins, fats, or carbs, the microbial activity has to do something. But first of all, we don't have very much microbial activity. It's just getting diminished. Antibiotics, cesarean section, pesticides, stress. Okay, so everyone's got to have, and then no one can eat anything anymore. So there's all this, you know, food trip going on. And I can dig it. I understand the nuances of the vegan diet. I have no interest in the vegan diet whatsoever. Kill yourself with grains, soy, corn, beans, lentils, and all that crap. I have no interest in the carnivore diet. This temple is a temple of God, and therefore there shall be no death. This is not a graveyard of death, okay? I hope you don't take that as an offense, but that's how I see it. This is a temple of God's light, because for me, my life is to do the best I can, to be the best person I can be, so that the goodness of what I call God, or life, or kindness, or love, or peace, or bliss, or joy, or unity consciousness. You see? So my vessel has to be clean. So I can understand you guys are like, Dan McDonald, you're way too skinny, you have bad skin, you're ugly, you're aging rapidly, you're dumber than a stump, and I hate you, okay? Hate is killing you. The vegans are dying because they are filled with hate. Now that's an overgeneralization. Usually the kind people don't say anything. It's all the people with so much hate. Vegans hate carnivores, carnivores hate vegans. Good. Let the hate kill you. Okay, I'm not going to hate you. I'm going to love you. Can you dig it? I'm going to forgive you for hating me because I love fresh fruits and vegetables, because I am regenerating myself from generations of suffering and pain and addiction and abuse and lethargy and depression and hopelessness. And you know what? For one dude in one lifetime, 18 years on live foods, I have come a long, long way. Do I have a lot of emotions? Yes. Do I want to get rid of that? No. I do not hate any carnivores, and I do not hate any vegans. What I don't agree with is all the hatred, all the division. The division is the death of your soul. Why divide your soul? Why criticize your brothers? We are all at different levels of the mountain, okay? So, and I have been judged and criticized by all, and I have done my best. I made a video about Doug Graham and David Wolf 9 years ago. I watched that video. I said, that is wrong. I got up on the YouTube the very next day, and I said, David Wolf, Doug Graham, I'm sorry that I said that, and I learned my lesson that time. That's how fast I learn. I said, I'm not going to do that. And maybe in unconscious ways, I've done it in the past, criticized and everything else. And ever since then, I've become friends with David Wolf and Doug Graham. And I think they're both awesome. And I see the awesomeness of all these people. You see what I'm saying? I see the light in all of you because I see it in myself, and that's what I want to grow. And I have my own way of doing that. That's why I love the food that has been kissed by the sun. Everything I eat is sun ripened. And I digress. All the carbs, fats, proteins, microbial activity, and the molecules produced in the soil which create that diversity and that communication between the microorganisms so you can get serotonin in your brain and be happy. Okay, it takes a long time. When you're suicidally depressed with a gun upside your head, you don't really want to die. You're just so sad because everything's so messed up from all the drugs and the bad food, and you don't know it, and the abuse, and so you're just sad. But if you dig your way out of that one step at a time, you can come out on this end and be like, look, I'm reaching out to all you who are sad, who are depressed, who are inflamed, who are hopeless. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about what's your percentage of meat to vegetables or fruit or any of that crap or division or separation. I'm here for the unity of love. Okay, you can think I'm full of shit if you want, but my friends know me and I know me and God sees me. Every thought that I have is projected onto the universe, and God is looking down at me and from within me. You know, we are the fish swimming in the ocean of God. It's everywhere, it's everything. And so I don't care if Mark Zuckerberg or Google knows everything about me. I only care about what the God thinks, because that is going to be Judgment Day. Every second is Judgment Day, because when you send out hate into the world, you not only injure yourself and your own bloodstream and your own gut and your own tissues with hatred, and you calibrate the water in your body with a hate vibe. But then it goes out, does damage to the person that you hate, like me, all the hate below the video, he's aging rapidly. I'm 44. I look 44. I've done more drugs than anybody, okay? It's a goddamn miracle I'm still standing after everything I've been through, but I have a lot of experience and a lot of compassion. And I can't really say that I'd change anything because I love who I am. I am far from perfect, but I'm perfectly imperfect for the job that God has for me. And I will tell you, if you are depressed, sad, angry, filled with hate, you can change. You can cultivate love. You can create peace. You can create harmony. You can regenerate your gut. However you think you want to do that. I have my way. I'm going to create a program for the people that I think can regenerate the diversity of the gut so that you can have all of the metabolic byproducts that lead to lightness, clarity, and happiness. Real happiness and joy and love. Okay, and I wouldn't say that if I wasn't experiencing those things in my own life. Very much so now, recently, mostly because I've been off the YouTube and trying not to pay attention to the phone and all the dumb drama. It's like plugging into the matrix. I go from 10 to like a 4. And that's what happened this morning, but I was like, let's do a real video, DTM, and just show people that I have sensitive feelings and everything else, and if I ate meat, I don't want that. They're like, you're sensitive because you don't eat meat. Well, you're desensitized because you do if you think that way. Get sensitive. Feel your woman's heart. Feel your man's heart. Feel your children. Feel the animals. Feel life. I understand all the arguments. I've watched more carnivore videos in the last year than a carnivore because I really want to understand. I really want to understand, and I have gained a lot of understanding about the crazy-ass plant foods. Like the vegan thing was a fad, right? But y'all didn't realize we were getting sprayed with glyphosate like it ain't no thing. It's on 75% of the food. You eat the glyphosate, it goes into your gut. 10 minutes later, your tight junctions are falling apart and your body is absorbing plant proteins. It's not able to break things down properly. You're leaking like a sieve and you've got brain inflammation and brain fog. Okay? And so you're talking about lots of parts per billion. Now, the animals are also filled with antibiotics and they're also filled with a lot of glyphosate too because it is water soluble, but it tends to spread out in the tissues and the animals detoxify it. So the vegan, the poor soul, they're eating the lentils and the beans and the grains that are being sprayed with glyphosate as a desiccant. They're eating this stuff going, I thought it was vegan, it's supposed to be healthy, but they didn't realize that they're being exposed to this toxic antibiotic, which is called glyphosate. And their guts are being ripped apart and they're like, the vegan diet's terrible. I don't really promote the vegan diet. I live off fruits and vegetables. I don't know where the deficiencies are. I am hornier than a horse, okay? And that is an indication to me. I mean, I want to do it. Now, I'm 100% celibate because all that goes to my brain. I want my balls in my brain, okay? Does that say it simply enough? And after years and years, 20 years of studying celibacy, continence, brahmacharya, I ain't been perfect by any stretch of the mean because women are fucking gorgeous, okay? And they are amazing. And I'm like this fireball and I want to do it, but I also have done that before and I realize that a lot of the regeneration of these things that have taken place in the past in my family history, grandma cancer, a lot of addictions, alcoholism, American Indian, okay? So I got my DNA test back. I am part black, part American Indian, part Asian, and part European. So what you gonna do? Who am I prejudiced against? Nobody, you know? I have to love everyone because I'm all of it. You know what I'm saying? Can you dig it? And besides, when you go beyond the DNA tests, go into the light, where does the God in you end and the God in me begin? So whether you eat carnivore or whatever. Because I just went over to my friend's house and I love her and her kids and I made them chicken. Can you dig it? And I go over here and I make cooked food for my church, organic and vegan, so they don't get to the pesticides, half raw, half cooked, so I can afford to do it. And I do all kinds of stuff for all kinds of people. There's nobody like me. Tavis said to me the other day, which was the greatest compliment of my life. Okay? And he said, Dan, I've been doing this for 22 years. I've met them all. And I'm not going to say any names, but he has been in the raw food game the whole time. And he said, Dan, you are the only one I've ever known who's actually doing it. And that's why I'm here with you now, providing, his multi-$1,000 of services on me for free because we're best buddies for one thing. And he takes the time to come out here and help me to continue to evolve, because Tavis is an extremely evolved soul. And he has been on the live foods for like 25 years. And he still holds the record on Camelback as far as I know. And so whatever you say about vegans are dying left and right, maybe the ones that aren't paying attention to what's going on in society in the food manufacturing and not organic, but that's why I am an orthorexic and happy to say so. If you ain't paying attention laser sharp on what you're putting into your mouth, you're probably not paying attention to what's going into your head, the books you read, the videos you watch. That's why plugging into the goddamn YouTube, it just, you know, it's just a vibration that's lower than mine. I have nothing against anyone, you know, and I just love people no matter who they are, where they're at, where I run into them. I don't talk down to anybody. I just want to sit there and be at their level. If anything, I want to lift them up. If anything, I want to lift you up. And you got to understand, I got this. It's like, Casey, just stop talking about me on your videos, man, because I'm on a totally different wavelength, bro. I'm on a totally different wavelength. I mean, muscles are cool, you know what I mean? I don't have any, okay? But I have this other flow, this desire. I have enough muscles to climb trees and to do the work that I do and to do the yoga. And I do hit the gym every once in a while just to keep my bones strong. You know, I broke both my knees, both my shoulders. I'm still working on all this stuff here and regenerating myself and regenerating the acupuncture meridian flow from all these blockages from my own anger and hatred, which was right there on day 36 of a water fast when my stomach was nothing. I could feel this anger and I just reached down and touched it and there was this big ball. And I wonder how many of us have that. And are we going to work on the regeneration of those sticking points, of all that anger and all that fear and all that hatred? Are we going to let that continue to be our guiding light? How much we hate the other person for what they eat? In my estimation, when I look in the mirror, when I'm out running at the beach, when I'm hanging out with my friends, I am thriving, okay? Do I have wrinkles? Yes. Do I have some grays in my beard? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I like the way I look. I like the way I smell. I like the way I live. I like the way I think. It's my preference. I had a consultation with a guy yesterday who was a carnivore. Did I tell him to stop eating meat? No, I didn't. I told him everything else about gut health around his particular needs. I didn't want to try to convince someone within an hour on how they should transfer their whole life. But so this carnivore guy is having gut problems, okay? So it didn't really solve his issues to go on the carnivore diet either. And so there's these other things that need to be taken into account. And I've looked at the vaccines, which was an issue in that particular call. I've looked at the antibiotics. I've looked at the pesticides, the herbicides. I've looked at the stress. I've looked at the lifestyle of the cities. I've looked at the disconnection from the earth and how we have become plastic people. And I am not a plastic person. I barely use any plastic. I go and get food from the farmer's market or right off these trees. There's fruit right there. There's fruit right there. There's a star fruit tree that has got these star fruits on it that are absolutely freaking incredible. So I would think that you would think that I was an idiot if I didn't go outside my door and get all this food for free. It just so happens that it's raw and vegan food. You know? But I eat a really cool diet. I drink a lot of juice because I want that electricity. I love the electricity because it adds to the consciousness, the sensitivity, the awareness, and the meditations are fantastic. The meditation practice has changed my game. And also the focusing on the cultivation of the garden in my gut. I have been focusing on making this into a very diversified and gorgeous rainforest. For most of us, it's a seething bog, okay? And so then everyone has to eat within a range of food like this. I can only eat beef. That's it. Well, that's pretty narrow range. And we would want to have a much broader range than that. And if you don't have that range, you might want to think about figuring out a way to expand that diversity because the plant fibers have a very specific purpose. And they are able to, the microorganisms in your gut are only able to take those plant foods and those plant fibers and use them to create byproducts, their metabolic waste. Microorganisms feed the other microorganisms, which feed the other microorganisms, and then it passes on through the gut wall into the bloodstream, and then those microscopic molecules and nutrients are passed on to the mitochondria in the cells if you have cell permeability. So you don't want to be so one-sided. You know, you want to make sure you've got electrical conductivity. A lot of my friends need a lot of different kinds of supplements and mineral supplements and stuff like that, which I love too, you know, because it does create conductivity. But for the most part, I'm constantly saturating my body with bioavailable sunlight activated mineralization. And that's potassium and magnesium and calcium and phosphorus and zinc. And so I'm getting that from these incredible juices. And that's what I like. You got to understand, I love my lifestyle. And if I was dying, I would do something else. But I am continually upgrading on every level. Physically, I'm healthier than I've ever been. Everyone on YouTube is supposed to say that. I'm just going to tell you the honest to God truth. Okay, right now I'm thriving 10 times more than you've ever seen me in my life. Every day I woke up stoked out of my mind at 5 a.m. And it's only like 10 o'clock right now. And I've already lived a full day. I've been hiking. I went to the river. I sang praises to the Lord, just like, oh my God, thank you, God. As I was just screaming at the top of my lungs, chanting, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. We've got a brand new day. That's my newest song. I'm doing music here on the island, and we're going to do healing music and chanting and gongs, and I've got music bowls, and I've got my percussion, and we just did a show the other night, and it just blew the lid off this place, you know? And my dude was so excited. He's like, we have got to put this into a show. So I'm doing music. My creativity is high. My virility is insane, dude. And I gotta be able to, I'm praying, dear Jesus, please help me stay on track, because I am looking at some ripe fruit. Can you dig it? So stay on point. Okay, with that, because the strength comes from the seed. The seed gives life without, or the seed can give life within. Okay, so I don't have the big muscles like all the carnivores, but I have these soft, very pliable muscles. And yesterday was a great testament. Running down the beach, infinite cardiovascular. Infinite cardiovascular. I just have a lot of energy. So I'm thinner, but I have that energy. That's my priority. I don't know what your priority is. You know, for me, I just love energy. I love feeling good. I love the joy and the bliss and the peace of God. And I'm continually working on more stillness. You wouldn't see that in this video right now. But that's why this career on YouTube is probably coming to an end, just with all this stuff. I don't want to be... When are you going to stop talking about me? I'm the most irrelevant person on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I've tried to get to the point where I'm irrelevant so that I can just reach out to my friends here on YouTube and just say, hey, I'm sorry you're suffering. I know your husband's being a jerk, or you're not digesting your food properly, or, you know, these fools want to try to cut your organs out of you. And let me tell you what I would do after all these years and working with thousands of people, you know? And it's not detoxification, it's regeneration. Oh, it's 24/7, 365. I don't take no off days, okay? I just don't. I don't want that. I don't need like a cheat day. I want to be, that's what makes me happy. That's the kind of personality I am. I'm going to keep my lamp burning as bright as I can, because I get sad when I do something or say something or think something that diminishes that light. I love that light. I want to transmit it to you. I can't do that unless I have it. And if I go against my ideals, I won't have it. I will be diminished. I need to stick with my ideals. You need to stick with yours. And I will pray for you right now that you find the strength and the courage to live up to your ideals so you can be filled, whatever they are. I'm not going to push my ideals onto you. If you call me for a consultation, I'm going to give you all the love in my heart. If you really reach out and show faith that you're really ready to change, let's talk, because I help people at a deep level, because I've been through the ringer and I'm coming out on the other side. I used wisdom. I didn't just sit around waiting for grace. I put my hand on the plow. Faith without works is dead. And I just worked. And my worst thing is this: I want to reach out and serve you. But it's so toxic to me. And it's just me. It's my soft spots. It's the little boy who was kicked in the back and punched in his face and punched in his stomach by the one person who's supposed to love me, and left behind by the other. So there's just this sensitivity. Were you ever hurt, or was your little childhood perfect? Do you have any unresolved pain? You know, I'm not trying to dwell on it. Thank God for it. Thank God for making me exactly who I am. Thank God for making you exactly who you are. And I'm talking about moving out of this whole food trip, because I do what I do and I feel really stoked. I'm going to go have a stoked ass day, climb some fruit trees. I'm going to build a hot spring and a cold dip at my friend's house, because she's got all the things she needs. She's got the fruit orchard. You know, we're going to plant a garden. I'm just going to go and I'm going to serve all these people on this island mostly, because this is my family. They're all crazy. They don't eat like me, but they think like me. And what it is like, they're a nut job too, and they know it, and they didn't fit into society because they didn't want to wear a choked off tie with shoes and a shirt that blocks them from the sun. You know, people are like, you need to put a shirt on. It's like, you need to take your shirt off. You need to take your shoes off, because everybody's dying. Because I'm the guy who's on the phone with these people every day, depressed, sad, dying, can't digest, all these diseases, bacterial overgrowths, heart problems, lung problems, brain problems, stomach problems. Guess what? I got none of those. So whatever the hell I'm doing, I'm going to stay doing it. Can you dig it? I ain't trying to defend myself, but I'm trying to say, let's celebrate. I'm going to celebrate this energy in my heart. You know what I'm saying? From all that over there. Don't be an anonymous nobody. Put your face up on the YouTube. Put your face up on the YouTube, and let's see you do it. Because you don't see me commenting underneath people's videos. I don't have an opinion. I have a job to do. I have a mission to accomplish. I have a purpose in life. I don't give a crap about my opinion. I am here to share love. And I am here to help people with the knowledge that I have gained. I don't want none of these flip-floppers all over the place. I have stuck to one thing. I've been drinking juice every day for 25 years, okay? And I'll tell you what's a hella funny story. David Wolf was giving me a massage the other day, and he just kept saying over and over again, I've never seen in my 20 years tissue this quality. Why? Because I have focused on the quality of these tissues. I have focused on the quality of my colon. And now we have the knowledge to explain what's going on with the diversity. But the masters knew back then, and I read their books, and they referenced it. They didn't have microscopes and stuff to understand it or the scientific terminology, but they knew that there was an ecosystem in there somehow. So isn't it time that we rise? Isn't it time that we rise? Because you want to know what? The enemy is not the vegan versus the carnivore. That is not the enemy. There is a darkness on this planet. Do not let it take you. Do not let it fill you with hatred, because you're just killing yourself. Hatred kills you first, kills the person you send it to, because you hurt me with all the videos. I mean, not too many people said too much, but still, it's just, I'm sensitive. It's like, you don't know me. Do I look like I'm dying? Do I sound like I'm dying? I don't know what to, I don't know what I would do any different. I have a nice, thin little body that works it's very high functional. And so that's just all there is to it, and that's good enough for me right now. But what I love about what I do by eating every ounce, every drop of my food is alive, is ripened by the sun, is uncooked. I'll explain to you, not in this video because it'll take me like an hour, how to pluck eat the difference between cooked food here and raw food here, the difference between cooked food here and raw food here, the difference between cooked food here and raw food here in your stomach, the difference between cooked food here in your small intestine, and then the difference between cooked food and raw food in your colon. Now me, I'm thinking I want every single bite of my food to be alive, have that fiber, those minerals, that hydrogen, that sunlight, that oxygen, and that insoluble plant fiber with all the microorganisms growing on it that transmit energy and consciousness to the microbes in my gut, connecting me to earth. I feel like I'm grounded and sane. And I think I can help people with any problems in their life. And I have people calling me with every kind of problem, ranging from cancer, depression, anxiety, autism, the whole gamut. There are answers, and they're not that difficult. You have to have the knowledge of life. And that I have, and I've been given it in abundance, because when you fast and when you eat the living foods, you become a pure vessel. God can teach you directly, and that's what you want. Direct experience, direct revelation. Wait around for the science. It eventually catches up to your divine revelations. And it feels so good, because then you're like, I was right all along. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to prove it. They're going to prove that what I'm saying is extremely beneficial. And they're going to see the metabolic byproducts of flesh, meat, cheese, bread, grains, cooked food, live food. And it's all going to be like, wow. And we're all going to see that the more alive food that we eat, with the more microbes on it that go in there and have that soil microbiology, because the molecules that create the communication network are in the soil. And when we're eating these plastic processed foods, we are disconnected from the soil. We're disconnected from that communication network in the soil, because the mycelium and the bacteria produce all these molecules that allow for communication to take place. And when that communication gets shut down, you are F-U-C-K-E-D, fooked. And so that's what I have done without really knowing it. And now the science, again, is catching up to what I intuitively understood. And now I'm really vigorous about it. And that's when my health went to another level. My happiness, when I started focusing directly on feeding the type of microorganisms in my gut that produce serotonin, dopamine, and testosterone. Now there's all kinds of hundreds of thousands of different metabolites and molecules and vitamins and minerals and steroids and hormones that are being produced, but science doesn't even have the tools yet, okay? But I'm just saying, I'm going to create that diversity in my gut. I'm going to have space in there with fasting and reset, and I'm going to eat really good, and I'm going to get a lot of fitness and a lot of sunlight, and I'm going to continue to love people, and I'm going to continue to look for ways to serve. That's what this YouTube channel is for. Period, bar none. I don't really care about my own coddly little ego. I mean, it's less than it was before, but it's still there, and I don't want to feed it. I want to serve you in love, period. And so I need to find ways to do that, to serve you in love. I just want to serve. And that is it. I don't want to be right. I don't even care about money anymore. My kids are raised. I'm off the hook. I don't have to get up here every day and schlep anything anymore. I can just serve you now. And if I have to go live in a tent at the beach, which I don't, because I have offers coming from all around the world for anything and everything, I turn them all down. I want to be it. And right here with my feet in the earth, in the mud, eating this dirty ass food, loving my farmer friends, and having this little camera, I just don't want to go anywhere right now, because I am evolving so much. I want to plant my ass in that chair, and I'm doing an hour and a half a day now, and I want to get it up to like 4 hours of meditation, 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. I want to do sadhana. I want to think of God, and then I want to take like an hour a day and make a video and send out a love bomb and give people hope and faith. You got to have hope and you got to have faith, but faith without works is dead. So put your hand on the plow. Serve those around you in any way you can. Be desperate to find ways to serve those around you, to be kind. Do it in a tasteful way. Don't try to force anything on anyone. Just show up and be humble and just take out the trash. Hey, Grandma, can I take out your trash? Hey, Grandma, can I wash your dishes? Hey, Bob, If you need to borrow my weed whacker, I see you're over there doing it by hand or whatever. You know, any way that you can be of service, any way that you can make your brother or your sister feel like you are at one. I kept praying and praying and praying and praying. I said, God, give me my purpose. And it was just like, you need to teach unity consciousness. So what I'm saying is, to all you carnivores, God bless you. May you be filled with whatever it is. I won't even say God. May you be filled with big muscles. May you be filled, may your bank account be filled. Whatever it is that makes you happy, I pray that you receive that. For all you vegans, I hope that you see your vision of the world come to pass. Whatever fills you up. But I'm going to take this, the carnivores and the vegans, and all that hate, and now there's only love. I'm going to challenge you carnivores and you vegans to love one another, regardless of what goes into your mouth or your philosophical beliefs, because that's all it is. Because the range and the diversity of the mind of God is absolutely impossible to comprehend. So all of us sound like a bunch of retards when we're trying to say what our version of the truth is. You know? Because the truth is so vast and so infinite and so eternal that for us to sit here and pretend like we know what it is lunacy. But I really don't think that we're going to see too many negative side effects if we all decide to love and serve one another right where we are at. Service purifies the heart, and that is what I need. Humility, service. I have a guru, and I love him so much, and I am so human. Damn it. I want to be like that, but I'm just not. You know? But I'm going to do my best anyways, even though I fall short every day. And that's why I said, you know, but when you do have those brief moments when you live up to your ideals, that's when you're the most. So the trick is to learn to live up to your ideals 24/7, 365. You know? And never give in to temptation. And for everyone, that's going to always be different. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope that you're blessed. Namaste, Sat Nam, Om, Mahalos, Aloha, Aho, and Amun. Amen.